All right, we have video. The question is, do we have audio? Are you able to hear the dulcet tones out there in chat of John Dat Flindo and myself, Ferran Burgundy?
All right, looks like we appear to be good.
Okay, just waiting to make sure it's like a power outage. When the power comes back on, you hope that it doesn't flicker out again. So I'm just kind of waiting for that extra moment here. But let me go on over and deal with the gatekeeping duties.
All right, and as a quick review of our flags, forts and levels are shuffled. All appears question marks. We start with power-ups. Hammers do not break locks. World 1 rock, not breakable. Regular boss bass. Sun activates sooner. Random boom boom HP, and those hitboxes for the Koopalings and Bowser are adjusted. So no easy Bowser fights for these players.
Not that much of anything with this game would be considered easy. I know from having played it myself. Granted, platformers aren't exactly my speed, but there are certainly challenges. So the countdown is underway. I did go ahead and let them loose. And now it's just a matter of the delay picking up, as yes, things are on a bit of a delay. Because you never know what's going to happen in broadcasting, as the last half hour or so can show. We've
Absolutely.
had a console freeze. We've had some technical difficulties across the board. But nothing can go wrong when it's live. It's all part of the entertainment factor.
So, chat, what world you got to start this time?
Looks like we're getting cold here as winter is winter is upon us as summer is drawing somewhat near a close here. And while the pipe leads to behind a rock, not going to be able to do much behind that. And we're going to start off with our first world.
We have
Looking for the clip, you can get it.
Oh, Stewie taking a death from the piranha plant early on.
Yes, the level of Starman streaking.
MidiGuy gonna go for the one cycle, and he does get it. So gonna have a little bit of a lead here as Stewie took that early death. Stewie, we're gonna see if he goes for the one cycle. He's also gonna go for it, and he also gets it. Now, probably gonna see Midi go for this pipe. Oh, he's gonna go for the bro first. I don't hate the play.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, especially this early on, to get some sort of a power-up, and it's an invincibility star, which certainly isn't chopped liver, and Stewie Cartman going to go ahead and do the same before... I was debating on the pipe, but we do see a fortress off to the end here, and this is World 4-1, or 4F1, I should say.
Yeah, 4F1, sometimes known as Troll Fort. MidiGuy going down the pipe, gonna find a mushroom. Stewie is going to forgo the pipe, take the top route. We'll see what he's able to get from this item up here, as long as no trolls are paid, which so far he's safe. Oh, Stewie's gonna get a star, but it's really not gonna matter much because Boom Boom was hit anyway, but get your bros in chat.
I'll forego the Matt Riddle joke this time around for the wrestling fans out there. But you pretty much know what it is. Oh, and look at that. The lock is inconsequential here, so unless there's a bridge at the end...
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the entirety of this screen, but it does appear that this is going to be a two-forter. We'll see what happens once MidiGuy is able to scroll the screen to the right a little more. Will there be a bridge to build? There will not.
There isn't. See, I've watched so much chat Schadenfreude that even though I don't like to see the worst possible scenarios, they tend to pop in my head anyway.
Yeah,
Just
and
like that, onto the ship.
and World 6 airship here in its vanilla location. Oh, and Stewie missed a jump input and is gonna take a death.
Oh. Displeased to say the least. And MidiGuy finishes canceling the circus.
Stewie taking the flyover strat. We'll see if he goes for the off-screen wand grab here, if he can survive these 4 hits from Lemmy. There's 2, 3, just 1 more. 4, is he gonna go for it? Not gonna go
Nope.
for it. Interesting. Was that a hammer from the Peach letter?
I'm not sure. I was too busy noting that Big John was apparently in the world already. But we'll get a conclusion of it here in a moment from Stewie Cartman. Indeed, yes, that is a hammer.
On into World 5, finding the 6F3 fort. Midi gets through it pretty much unscathed. Stewie gonna find a fire flower. We'll see if he can hold on to that as MidiGuy goes into the first real level and finds the sun stage here.
Oh no, but gets blindsided by a cheap out of nowhere. Was that Cheap's initials RKO? Holy smokes.
So 1 level separating our players, Midi finds the pipe that leads to the Twisty Fortress down towards the bottom now, finding another level in World 2. This is, I forget if this is 5 or 6, but it's one of those.
I thought it was 5, but I also don't know these all that well, so maybe we'll take it to the experts here. Oh goodness, that was a little dangerous on MidiGuy's part there. A little overshoot and then had to avoid the hammer. Oh, 2-4. Okay, so neither of us were right. We are qualified commentators, though. Don't get that twisted.
Oh, and Stewie gets the Wrangler snipe in the coin chip and gets a P-Wing out of it. MidiGuy not going to be able to do it as he enters a small Mario. Avoiding those boomerangs, though, gets the kill and gets the P-Wing. Now Stewie in 2-4.
And just firing away with that flower, stomping occasionally.
Midi making his way through all the dropping donuts. Not going for the coins. Not as necessary in regular randomizer as in open world, but he is down to, 5 lives. I was looking at the 2.
Nice clip through the ice blocks there.
Just this blue fort separating Midi, and it is going to be 5F2, almost in its vanilla location, just a couple spots to the left.
Oh, tried to get the P speed, but just hiding in the tracks there was one of those hot foots. I studied grammar too, I swear.
Stewie now also here in the lava fort. MidiGuy getting that kill on Boom Boom. Stewie really not that far behind. Oh, it takes a hit to either the Podobo or the Boo. I couldn't tell which one. He enters the pipe as Midi now into this airship. World 2 airship again.
Just as a little friendly reminder, since the previous race ended about 12 and a half minutes in, for those of you just joining us. And Roy only taking, I believe that was just one hit, so not our boy according to the memes. Yeah, Mage gets it.
Me feel English? That's impossible.
And Stewie confirming that Roy indeed was a B-U-M bum. Finding a Tanuki suit for their efforts and finding Desertland here, World 2, immediately going into a pipe. We see that hammer is going to be a great play here, as neither lock is in the way after breaking it. So it's just going to be one and done here for both of these players, assuming they both go for that hammer strat.
I'll try to go up to get the... there we go. There's the fire flower.
As for quick
as decides to forego it.
As quick as this World 2 is going to be, having to play 6-6, I think that's a nice consolation. I'm sure the players would not agree. Imagine it. You love to see this kind of trolley level.
I mean, for those in the chat with Schadenfreude, absolutely.
Stewie having to be a little careful here, not having that fire flower, but he does manage to get through as Super Mario. Gonna take this shell, hit the cheap, and he is off to the races now. Gonna be finishing off this level. MidiGuy going for the bros in the water stage. Oh, and gets another hammer.
And a 1-up as well. Because why not? Just doing a little cleanup of some items here. Oh, goodness. That is a boomerang bonanza and then some.
Stewie managing to get out of it without taking a death, though. And finding the World 4 airship. Stewie not electing to go for that other bro, by the way.
Well, I mean, that does even things up. And first into a very sodium-free Morton is Stewie Cartman, but right behind is MidiGuy. Only by a couple of seconds, maybe. Maybe, yeah, about a 4-second differential between the two heading out of the third world here.
And I didn't catch what the other bro had. I'll try to keep an eye on MidiGuy's inventory next time he opens it up.
I'm going back over the replay to see what we can find. It looks like it was a music box.
And both players now with a cloud from that peach letter. Stewie gonna find 3-6, I believe this is. No, 3-7.
All right, I'm pulling out my cheat sheet here. That was 3-8. As we are here in the pipe maze.
MidiGuy finding room with a view. And Stewie finding 8-2.
With a loose chomp on the loose. Cartman, though, able to outrun and outfly it, at least for the moment. Oh, does get the tail whack on the piranha plant, but also takes some fire damage. but still gets through the stage. And here is the World 8 fort, I believe.
That is correct. Gatekeeper Fort, as we like to call it.
I couldn't remember the nickname, but that, yes, the World 8 mini fortress, the Gatekeeper. I don't know what would be the Rick Moranis-like Keymaster by comparison. Oh, just missed the one cycle.
See if MidiGuy is able to get it here. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Oh, just
nice!
barely.
And somehow avoids the hitbox on those spikes. Absolutely wild.
Yeah, so Midi back in the lead here. We'll see if Stewie decides to play the plant. He does. And what's Stewie gonna get for his efforts? It's gonna be a star. So not the worst thing for Midi to skip out on. And Midi able to find the promised land now, just getting through this this waterfall beta stage. Looking for a power-up, gonna find a star, but still not too bad. Able to get up here. Stewie's still trying to find that magic pipe to get there.
This one I do know the nickname for, Niagara Falls. Slowly I turn, step by step, inch by inch. Nothing like an old vaudeville joke from almost 100 years ago to really stay on top of dating things.
I know, right?
All right, we have the bro hand stage.
MidiGuy went for that P-speed, wasn't able to get the jump, so he's going to have to do this the long way. Not that it's a very long level to begin with anyway, so not a big deal. Gets through the pipe, going to be rewarded with an unknown item that is... Oh, a hammer suit! We have a Kingslayer, folks. And Stewie's going to get that too, as it is a forced level, unless he clouds it. Second plant stage is going to be a star. And finding the, I believe, World 5 airship here in this this World 7. MidiGuy making his way through pretty well.
Yep, and now Ludwig. How many hits will it be, or will it be fire? It looked like it was a 2-hitter. Will there be a commercial jingle, perhaps? In terms of composing?
Yeah, 2 symphonies here for MidiGuy. You know, as a Beethoven lover, the second symphony is pretty good. Check it out if you if you've never heard of it. The fourth is my favorite, but
Who had getting some culture on their commentary bingo card? Because I know I sure didn't.
all right, now Waterland for our players. Stewie's going to find out in just a moment. Curious to see if we're going to see another fort on the right side of that screen. So far, I've seen 1 fort and I believe 1 lock, if I read the map right. MidiGuy finding the second hand stage. And finds another hammer suit. And here we have 7F2 for MidiGuy. Curious to see if Stewie's going to go ahead and play the fort. We'll find out. Oh,
those inputs for Stewie, yeah, Stewie, very, visibly upset and frustrated with the consumed inputs that have occurred here. A bit of a late lunch in terms of the A button input for Stewie Cartman.
Looking at this map, I gotta guess that Wendy is gonna be that bottom pipe.
Oh, the one just beyond the coin ship here?
Yes. See if the game proves me wrong here. Midi Guy getting through this coin ship. One more bop on the head on this hammer bro. Gonna get a cloud for his efforts.
Using it to skip an item, you certainly love to see that. Especially if there's a problematic level that pops up. I did see the chat mentioned Atlantis.
So not leading directly to Wendy's, but it does lead to the pipe that leads to the level that leads to the pipe. So it leads to it by proxy. Midi Guy clouds over the level and finds the World 1-1 airship, or World 1-1 airship, World 1 airship. And Wendy, just a one-hitter. See if Stewie also decides to cloud over that level. I think here it's a smart play because you know that that pipe leads to Wendy's, and he is going to do it. Takes the cloud, takes the pipe, and he's going to be on in this airship pretty quick.
A good point there. If you are enjoying the stream, go ahead and at least click below to follow. You don't necessarily need to subscribe, but that's more of a YouTube thing, I suppose. Oh, double jeopardy here. A pair of fortresses, and we have 5F1. Midi doing good to look before leaping there, but runs out of the... well, it's keeping the P speed, but runs out of the P wing, and is just going to charge on through and take out Boom Boom.
Two hit Boom Boom. We'll see which lock this breaks. This is going to be really nice if it's just the answer here, and it is not, so going to have to play one more level and find this other fort, and we have 5-2.
Oh,
Wow.
What? Even Mini Guy's just going, well, I mean, what can you do with that? You just have a sniping, a sniping boss bass out of nowhere.
That is just so unfortunate. We'll see if Stewie's able to avoid that boss bass, maybe pick up a little bit of ground here, as Midi making his way through 5-2, getting to that end pipe. Stewie finding the bad news that that fort was not the answer. We'll see if this boss bass gets him. Oh, he gets the snipe. And it is going to be Air Force. Get your salutes in chat.
I just had to go and make sure that got clipped. That was wild.
Yeah, I believe we've seen that in at least one tournament before. I don't recall who it was, but I remember seeing a clip of somebody getting eaten by a boss bass in that exact location. It's very unfortunate. But Midi Guy getting through Air Force, Stewie also making his way through Air Force pretty well, I might add. Really not too far behind Midi at this point because of that gulp in 5-2. And now we find the beta stage.
Well, it certainly gets on through to there, and yeah, chat confirming it was Night Shifter. Apparently it's happened a few times. That's the first time I had ever seen it, so that is partly why I was as dumbfounded as I am. Part of it is just me naturally being dumbfounded with this game.
Midi making his way through 5-4, 5-5. I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it's one of those. Gets through unscathed.
5-5, I believe.
Yeah, it is 5-5 because 5-4 is the cloud level with the spinners.
Level which we haven't seen, but for all we know, it's probably out there singing, "I'll be around." For those of you who appreciate 70s soul, you'll get that joke about the band The Spinners.
And speaking of being around, Midi making his way around the World 7 airship. Misses that jump there just a little bit, but not a big deal. Is able to recover, gets into the pipe, and we find Larry. 1 hit, 2 hit Larry for this World 1. And we move into our final world, which is Giant Land. Each giving a mushroom as we go into Giant Land. Midi taking the immediate pipe.
It's kind of an only one way to go type thing here in that regard. Well, we have a lock and a bridge. I'm gonna go ahead and use the music box to put out the bros. And we are treated to 3F1.
Indeed we are. Midi hoping this is the answer and won't have to play an extra level. I love that strat with the P-Wing, taking door 3 and just flying under to get to the ending door. Gonna save a tiny bit of time there as Stewie Cartman fighting a bro and gets a star for his efforts.
Oh, and that is a max level boom boom. 5 hits to take out that 3F1 boom boom.
But it is not the answer. They're going to have to play this extra level to get to that second fort. And the extra level is 2-1. Stewie trying to get that.
With an angry sun.
Yeah, not my favorite setup for this level, but it's really not that bad. Stewie really wants this fire flower, having trouble with that duck jump. There we go, finally able to get it. And we have Super Tanks is the answer for World 4. Get your salutes out in the chat.
Super Tanks, much more appreciated than Super Train. A short-lived NBC series in 1979 that almost bankrupted the network. Due to its low ratings and high expense. Oh, Stewie really wanted that star. Can't say that I blame him. There were a lot of enemies surrounding there.
Alright, Midi gonna skip the other bro, go directly to this airship, which is the World 3 airship, I believe. Gonna go for this item, which is a tail. And in to fight Iggy. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits for Iggy. Gonna go for the off-screen wand grab. Not gonna get it though.
Couldn't quite get there. But still a ship and a hammer bro lead so far here for MidiGuy, heading into World 8.
And we must ask, chat, how many bridges in 8? I'm going for 2.
Worst bankrupting from a single project has to be Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. Well, I don't know. That'd be a fun project. How much money has been lost due to bankrupts in the near 50-year history of Wheel of Fortune? Because that's
Oh
probably gonna be up
gosh.
there. Oh, I think
Yeah,
that was intentional, that death.
yeah, Midi jumped into the fake tank there. Fortunately, had already jumped into the pipe to save position. We have now one lock, so the 4-bridge dream is dead. A lot of pipes on the hand bridge to explore. It looks like he's explored all of them. That third pipe is going to be the answer. Pretty linear World 8 so far.
Oh, it's 7F1 Fort Knox.
Midi guy fortunately equipping that P-Wing. It's able to get through here pretty quickly. Now we did see another lock in the dark stage, or the dark room. So potentially only 2 bridges or less in Bowser's Valley. And we saw
I think
another
that
one
unlocked
break.
the third one, so it's either one bridge or none. Hey, the seed is validated. We have 3F2 in World 8.
What do you know? I've rolled a valid seed. Stewie checking out those the hand bridge pipes. Gonna figure out pretty quick that he's gonna have to be in the dark room. And that broke a 4th lock, so it's gonna be a 0 bridger, it looks like.
That's uncommon.
And it's looking like the seed, the pipe is either gonna be up in that corner on the right or the very top corner on the left. We'll see where it's gonna be. As Stewie enters 7F1 with a Tanuki suit. And it is going to be the left pipe there that Midi Guy has just found. Will there be a level blocking Bowser's castle? There will be.
There is.
And
No
it
cloud,
is
gotta do it. Survey says
1-1.
1.
Or excuse me,
1-3, yeah.
1-3, yeah. With the nipper set too. No reason to go for the item at this point.
Does avoid the fireworks of getting a 5-up by 3 stars. And there we go. We have the Kingslayer on. And in we go to Bowser's Castle. Mini Guy tried the clip, didn't get it. Now up the Disco Waffle stairs. Clips through to avoid going back down the stairs. Oh, mac and cheese, first try, clipping through. And we are moments away from Bowser, and Mini Guy very pleased with that clip.
Now just a few hammers to Bowser's face, and Midi has done it. Takes game 1 of this best of 3 series. And he will finish with an official race time of 32 minutes and 28 seconds. Get your GGs in the chat for Midi.
Ah, yes, and the classic airplane quote, I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Oh, Stewie went for the item in 1-3, and it was a frog suit.
Perhaps had already seen that MidiGuy had finished, and maybe it was just for the lulz decided to grab the item. Who knows?
I gotta imagine that's the case. Stewie going through Bowser's castle with this hammer suit. Gonna go for the everyman clip. Misses it the first time. Misses it the second time. There we go. The first three were just warm-up. First try every time. Oh, but
Makes up for it there.
Gets the clip to Bowser with some crouch strats here. Just having a little fun.
A little theatrical, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and Bowser taking a low hop to his death there. And Stewie, get your GGs in the chat for him.
MidiGuy noting went pretty clean, maybe a bonk here and there, but I don't know. Did MidiGuy take a death there at all?
I don't think so. If he did, it was only one. I know he took a death in the first seed that didn't end up mattering. It's Stewie with an official race time of 34 minutes and 13 seconds.
All right, so we're going to take a few moments here. To set up for game 2 in this best of 3. Okay, so that one seemed to be pretty nice overall, but despite what I said earlier, now they've given me the opportunity to roll the second one here. And I see I'm being handed a note about handling of some on-screen controls, which I'll admit is a first for me here, but I can figure out fairly easily, he says with some minimal confidence. All right, so our runners are getting ready here for game number 2 in this best of 3. And as they're doing so, I'm quickly and frantically trying to get through some work that I've been ignoring through the first race here, because I am kind of on the clock right now. Shh, don't tell anybody.
Secret safe with me.
It's a secret to everybody. Oh, wait, wrong game. No, that's Zelda 1 Randomizer, to which I occasionally do commentary as well. All right. Looks like the runners are readied up here, so we'll go ahead and back out of the... yeah, I'll leave you to the gatekeeping, and yeah, there we go. So we're going to be getting ready shortly here. The runners are ready. Time to find a new clock that won't move. If I could turn back time. Okay, that's fair point. Okay, there's more I'll need to do for game 2. Interview links won't fire off because they're not marked as done yet. Okay, well, that is good to know. So I'll just kind of have that here off to the side. But in the meanwhile, the countdown is going in the race room. You'll see it on the screen with the -15 to 0 for MidiGuy. And then we will be underway with game number 2 in the best of 3. MidiGuy taking game number 1.
So, chat, what do we got for a starting world in this game 2? I'm going to go with World 7. Stewie looking to...
I don't know why. I'm feeling 4 for some goofy reason.
And it is World 1, and it appears to be a 2-forter. Both players going to go for that bottom fort, and we immediately discovered that, Farron, you've rolled an invalid seed.
Leave it to me to roll an immediately invalid seed within the first 12 seconds of the game. And I've been banned from rolling, I've been told. No, that's not true.
Stewie went for the item. It was a star. That's going to put him a couple seconds behind, but really not too far. Both players getting a pretty good swing, though. We go to our first Boom Boom of this game 2. He is 1, 2, 3, 4 hit Boom Boom here in 3-1.
Oh, this is why I don't usually roll seeds. I roll, as noted, the most invalidiest seed possible.
Alright, and finding 1-4 here in this first level of the game. These players still neck and neck, making their way through. Stewie's just right behind MidiGuy at this point.
I'll admit I didn't recognize it because it wasn't auto-scrolling. And now a coin chip for both.
No Wranglers for either players. Neither one of them has a Fire Flower. And they're gonna get a star for it. And we find the World 5 airship here in World 1. MidiGuy getting the P-Speed. Stewie Cartman also getting the P-Speed. Jumping down into the pipe. We find Larry. Both players going for the fire kill. They're going to get it about the same time, actually.
Yeah, slightly cleaner fight, and Stewie has gone from about a 1 second deficit to about a fraction of a second lead heading out of World 1.
Yeah, and their timers appear to be about a half second out of sync from each other, so it actually looks like they're pretty well tied at this point.
Yeah, the difference you could say is negligible.
Finding a hammer, an anchor from the Peach letter, and immediately getting a 50-50 on the pipes. Both players going to go back in the pipe and go for the other pipe to get to the fortress, which is absolutely the right call here. And we have Gatekeeper.
And yet with still no Keymaster.
Now, Stewie missed the one cycle in the last seed. We'll see if he's able to get it here. Looking pretty good so far. I don't think he's... Okay, he is going to get it.
And so too does MidiGuy.
And that built the bridge.
Cleaner Gatekeeper, and yep, there's the bridge.
Hammer Bro in Stewie's way, but he gets a hammer out of it. MidiGuy also gonna go for the bros. He gets a set of fire bros, and he gets the P-Wing that Stewie's about to get. We'll see if he goes for that hammer bro. Alright, Midi's also gonna get the hammer. So Stewie in first, finds the World 6 airship, goes for the first class clip, does not get it. And neither does Midi.
I don't even know what the first class clip is, but I'm used to riding coach.
As are most of us. No, essentially, if there's a spot there where if you get a clip, you can go into the ceiling. There's a platform up there that you can clip into.
And then again, the next clip that I do in Super Mario Bros. 3 will be my first. Actually, that's not true. I have done the every person's clip. But that's the only one. And even then, I can count on one hand how many times I've done it.
Alright, our player's getting a star and finding World 2.
And 6F3 to start off with. The elevator shaft.
Stewie loses his P-speed and thus hits the spikes and loses his fire flower. MidiGuy able to hold on.
I know most people call it the elevator. I call it the elevator shaft because you get the elevator and the game gives you the shaft.
Alright, 3 levels separating the players from that pipe. They do have a hammer, but I don't really think it's going to be useful because of where that pipe is. And finding 2-1 here, and I believe it's in its vanilla location too.
Well, I mean, everything can't be randomized. Occasionally something rolls vanilla. And now here's 2-4 in the 2-2 location.
Stewie taking a hit there, losing that fire flower. MidiGuy also taking a hit and losing his fire flower. Gonna get another one here. We'll see. Nope! Immediately loses it to the tiny little Goomba.
Decides against 3-5, or at least decides to take a death to it without getting some... I was going to fly over it, it looks like, here. And MidiGuy's going to do the same.
Yeah, I can't blame him. Taking the P-Wing is so much faster than trying to swim through the level. Oh, and Midi Guy taking a dip in the water. Didn't really see what happened, but gonna be a little bit slower for him now. And yeah, that pipe absolutely useful. Gonna lead straight to the castle.
Yeah, those very precise swim movements causing the heart to skip a beat or two there. Oh, that's what it was. Midi took a fish to the face. Taking off a little low.
Stewie with a commanding lead here. Gonna go ahead and switch to his audio. A 3-hit Morton for Stewie. So, not too salty and not too bland either for Morton.
Now it's Midi's turn to deal with the World 3 ship? Me change. What is that from? Chrono Trigger, I think?
Couldn't tell you.
Ah.
But we have a very long-looking World 3 here for our fourth world.
No.
Stewie finds, I believe this is 4-4.
Yes, indeed. Oh, FF4, the original US release. Okay. I knew it was something in the Final Fantasy Chrono Trigger-ish realm. Oh, does get the hop over top.
And chat mentioning that Double Hammer might be good here. I gotta agree. Unfortunately, they only have one in their inventory, so not gonna be an option this time. Stewie making his way through 1-2, takes a little hit there, but gonna be able to work back up to a Fire Flower. And Stewie finds the army stage. Get your salutes out in chat. Gonna get a free item from this as soon as he's able to get through the level. Midi Guy gonna be right behind, not too far behind, just about half a level, I'd say.
Little firework animation on top of it as well.
Stewie going to get a star. Not really the item I was hoping to see for him, but you know, that'll attribute to a fast bro kill, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And he finds 5F2. Fortunately, does not have a tail this time, so going to be able to run through this pretty quick. Oh, and he gets the hidden door in the pipe.
The old hidden door in the pipe trick. That's the second time I've fallen for it this month. And welcome in those from Angelic Jade's channel. Welcome in from the raid. You're watching game 2 in a best of 3 here between MidiGuyDP and Stewie Cartman. Alongside John Dat Flindo, I'm Ferran Burgundy, and we are attempting to bring the action here to you on Speedgaming 3.
And Stewie taking a really unfortunate death. Came in... Oh, there's that boss bass again. But taking a really unfortunate death to that hammer bro in the water stage. Took a hit, and then could not get the jump onto the second hammer bro. And having to go through this level now before getting the bro fight completed. Gonna give MidiGuy a little bit of a chance to catch up here. Gotta think they're gonna go for that pipe that's right below this level and see where that leads.
Yeah, for those who missed it, the boss bass in that stage had positioned itself perfectly to take a bite out of Stewie Cartman in race number 1 here.
And there's the second hammer. Really curious to see if that bottom pipe... Oh, no, MidiGuy found the fort. Was it that lower pipe?
I will admit I turned away and missed it.
It was. MidiGuy found the correct pipe and has now retaken the lead from Stewie.
Oh, that's right. I did get both of them, but I think Stewie Cartman was the one that I'd seen first here in the clip attached in chat. And, yep, MidiGuy taking the lead here after World 4.
So double hammer would have been absolutely the play if they had had one more. That is wild.
If that isn't game nose, I don't know what to tell you.
And chat pointing out that Stewie got a cloud that MidiGuy is not going to have. We'll see if that comes into play here later on in the game. MidiGuy waking his way through these fire snakes, gets through unscathed. And gets an extra life from that Cheep Cheep. This will be really nice if the Navy fort is the answer and breaks that lock. This will be a really fast World 7. Again, get your salutes out in chat.
And 4 will do it.
But it is not the answer.
Through the lock. Oh no!
Got to find their way to that bottom island. That's the only fort that's left that I've seen. Or pipes in the bottom left island.
4-pipe Monty, not opting for that one. It's a possibility, but trying to avoid that extra level, or no, that doesn't go that way either. I'm all mishmashed with the maze here.
And it looks like it's going to be that first pipe that's blocked by the level in the top left. Unless that's the Promised Land. Oh, and the pipe there was the Promised Land. So yeah, that either Midi's got to play that level, or well, he's either got to play a level on the top left, or this one here that Stewie's thinking about going for, and he does. And it's 7-2.
Only a fleeting glance at the angry sun for Stewie. And we're pretty much even Steven.
Yeah, both players playing a different level, but getting the same result. They're just this one level separating them from that final fort, which will break the lock and allow them to progress into this randomizer.
Just finishing off World 6-7 here.
MidiGuy getting out first, actually. Interesting, because Stewie came out slightly ahead of that. And we find super tanks. MidiGuy taking the damage boost to get the P-speed. Our players making their way back, and MidiGuy gets to the island first. Gonna take the star and play this plant stage. Stewie right behind, though. Oh, and Stewie misses the no block and takes some damage from the nippers.
But they both get a star out of it, and probably about a 3-second lead at the moment for MidiGuy here.
Both going for the item. They find a fire flower. Probably going to see P-speed strats, there we go, from both of these players. MidiGuy getting it, Stewie getting it. Midi does not get the big jump.
Stewie attempted this. It was on the crash run, the very first race that we had that ended about 12 minutes in, had an 8 in input, but not this time around. And with the fire flower, Stewie able to take out MidiGuy just a little bit faster. And what was a 3-second deficit is now a 3-second lead.
This is exactly what you want to see in a game too. Both players fighting for their life. Of course, MidiGuy, if he wins this, he will move on in the bonus bracket. Stewie Cartman would be eliminated. Stewie really needs to win this one if he wants to move on in the tournament. And we find 7-6. How many takes? It's going to take 4 takes for Stewie. And looks like, I think that was 3 for MidiGuy. Stewie using his cloud to skip over that level and go to the bro fight. I love that play. And he clouded over the pyramid stage. And we have our 3-quarter.
For a moment for some occupational obligations.
Now Stewie finding Troll Fort for F1. The troll has been paid once, but able to get that skinny little jump in and miss the second womp. Fights Boom Boom. 4 hits to kill him. MidiGuy gonna go ahead and check the pipes. Finds out the first one is a dud. Stewie's gonna fix him to get here that same bad news. Oh, but he's gonna go ahead and hammer it to avoid the pipe transition. And finds 5-9. Gotta wonder if he's regretting using that cloud now.
Well, it was the best decision in the moment until it wasn't.
I didn't catch what lock that first fort broke. It looks like there's gonna be... Yeah, so it looked like it built the bridge to Limmy, so it looks like Stewie's just gonna be able to get through a couple levels here, and he'll be open. And Stewie finds the World 1 airship. And making pretty quick work of this. Gets right through. Finds Limmy. Oh, goes for the fire kill, but misses one input, but he ends up being just a one-hitter anyway. So 3-Fort World 6 turns into only one fort being necessary. So MIDI guy with a level and a airship behind at the moment as we go into World 5, immediately finding a pipe. Where's it going to go? Going to go to the sky. Oh, and Stewie not happy to find 7F1.
And it's just going to take the death on it here.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He had a Leaf and a Tanuki suit in his inventory. I don't know exactly how much time it saves, but it is a slight bit faster to go ahead and take the death and equip the tail. Alright, just 3 levels separating Stewie from the airship. Takes a couple of hits here to this fire set. Nice bounce off of the Goomba. Oh, but he takes a death from the shell!
Oh no!
Yeah, the enemy setup not great for Stewie. I gotta wonder if he's gonna take this a little bit more strategic. Oh, but this time the Paragoomba doesn't follow him, so it's gonna be a little bit easier for him. Just gotta wait for the shell to get out of the way, maybe kill the fire snake. He's not gonna be able to get that, and he does take a little bit of a damage boost, but gets down that pipe. Meanwhile, MidiGuy after
fire.
It's a fair point.
Both an in-game lesson and a life lesson. Don't fight fire with fire.
Oh, and MidiGuy takes the same death, but in a slightly different way.
The game giveth, the game taketh away. Ooh.
MidiGuy also equipping the stars. Stewie did the same thing. Takes a hit there. And gets that Kaizo coin block. Oh, he gets sandwiched again there. Oh, careful, Midi.
Oh, and here comes the Paragoomba just to add...
Oh, no!
Oh, no. This enemy set. You've got to be kidding me.
MidiGuy going for the hammer, bro. Trying to hope to get a cloud. Doesn't get it. Gets a P-Wing instead. Which it really isn't terrible. He could fly. He could just fly over the level if he wants to. But gonna go ahead and cloud it. and then equip the P-Wing and just fly over this next level, which I really don't hate that.
Oh, flies underneath the bars there. Oh, has to dodge a fire snake.
And into World 8 we go for Stewie. Chat, how many bridges? Well, not 4.
Yeah, choices are 1, 2, 3, or look at the main screen.
A one-hit boom boom for Stewie in 5F1. Which was a 4th
the
level.
MIDI takes a hit. Has to go get back to get a raccoon leaf.
Stewie looking for a power-up, finds a 1-up. Oh, I was afraid that might happen for MIDI. So another trip into this bonus room to get the tail again.
This is just 6-5 doing 6-5 things. Oh gosh, the lag, the fire snake, the Paragoomba.
He gets the Paragoomba this time, though, so hopefully he has a pretty clear path up to the top. The fire snake keeps respawning, though, and really not what he wants to see. There we go. Meanwhile, Stewie, finding Alaska, gets through without a problem.
Breezing through 6F2.
And that's the 3rd fort now for Stewie. MidiGuy gets through the airship. He is going to join Stewie in World 8. Looks like the path to Bowser is open. Stewie's played 3 forts and that first lock is still there. The question now is just, where's the pipe? Stewie electing to look and try to get to the Air Force tile. And if I'm right, he doesn't need to. This is a time waste.
Going through what I'm guessing is 4F1.
And Stewie finds 8-1, blocking the path to the Air Force tile. MidiGuy going to be able to get the P-Wing strats with door 3 again. Yeah, that's a good point, chat. That there was a pipe there. That could very well lead to Bowser, and we have an acceptable seed. Stewie making his way through.
Yep, Stewie with the fire flower. MidiGuy trying to traverse through World 8 quickly here.
So that should have broken the lock on the home screen for Stewie. We'll see if that pipe is indeed the answer.
And it has.
Where is it gonna go, though? The elbow?
Yep, High Flyer calling it in chat. And once again, no bridges. And right on in.
Wow. So Stewie in a pretty good spot here to take game 2 and force Midi into a decider. Stewie getting the clip with some celebration crouches. Just going to take 35 fireballs to Bowser's face, and he will be going into game 3 with Midi. And there you have it. Stewie takes game 2. Get your GGs in chat for Stewie Cartman. And he finishes with an official race time of 35 minutes and 16 seconds.
And it looks like that is going to be a waving of the white flag there to get on to the deciding game 3. So that means, oh boy, we get to create a race room. I haven't done this before. This should be interesting.
You know, I haven't either. So a best of 3 now becomes a best of 1. The winner of this lives on to fight another day, and the loser will be eliminated from this SGL24 Mario 3 Randomizer tournament.
All right, I'm trying to make it work here. Let's see. Got that. And then that. This should be interesting. Trying to do all this on the fly here. Oh, oops. Figuring this all out on the go. This is a lot of fun here. I think I have it here, High Flyer. I do appreciate the offer, though, because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But I believe we're going to try to get to this as quickly as possible here, because I know Stewie is supposed to be commentating a race that is starting in 68 minutes from now. So Yes, I was a little slow on the update, although now it's 67 minutes. So we're gonna have to move along here with things. Okay, John Dat's gonna go ahead and roll. And once they've readied up, then we'll get things going from there. They're having a brief discussion as we go along here, but yes, GG's in this case here to Stewie, who took race number 2 in 35:16, and this is all the marbles here. This is the bonus bracket, game 3 of a best of 3. The winner will advance. The loser will be eliminated from the tournament. So all the marbles on the line here.
Yeah, and while we're in between
survival marbles.
And while we're in between games here, we do have some more Mario 3 Randomizer coming up for you today. We have True Hyper Mario versus Teeks88 at 5 p.m. Eastern over on Speedgaming 4, and then tonight at 8:30 over on 6, Marky Mark versus Angelic Jade. Those are going to be some really good games. You don't want to miss them.
And the former of those matches, Stewie Cartman, who is one of our racers here, is set to commentate. So, time being a little bit of the essence here. And I don't know how exactly to go about this. I didn't know this was going to have a delayed first game and then a crash system restart. I had allotted myself 2 hours for this here, but those 2 hours are quickly waning as, again, I'm supposed to be on the clock right now, and I'm doing work intermittently while commentating. But I won't be able to hide out of said thing in about 5 minutes from now, so that is going to make for a rough and challenging situation here, but we're going to try to make it work as best we can.
All right, I have
no earthly idea, but we're going to try to figure it out anyway.
Right,
extenuating circumstances and things of that nature.
And our runners have been released. We'll see that timer start to count down for MIDI here shortly, and we will be on our way. So chat once again for the final time this broadcast. What world will we start in?
I'm still holding out for 5. Oh yeah, let me... Boop. There we go. Hit that button here.
We've got a 3, a 5, a 7, a 4, a 5 from one of our commentators. I'm going to go with World 2. And we have World 2.
Wow, okay.
And starting off with 6F3, fortunately finding a mushroom, so they're able to take one hit here. MidiGuy builds back up the P speed, and they get through there pretty quickly. Oh, MidiGuy gets the clip, and he cannot believe it.
Wow. You can see the excitement. And a one-hit boom boom, and what a start.
It looked like Stewie took a death as well, so he's already behind the 8 ball here. Followed by 7-1, and MidiGuy fortunately has the mushroom and gets it on the 3rd try. Stewie, if he survives this, is going to either have to burn a life and take a power up, or just play the level. Really not a good start for Stewie so far.
Anything but ideal here to get things going. Oh, and for the 3rd time That doggone boss bass just kind of hanging out there waiting to chomp down. But that is a lesson that both of our runners have learned the hard way just once. And once is all you need with that.
Stewie gonna go ahead and take the intentional death, equip that mushroom, and get the clip. I don't blame him. Pretty useless
More tries
fight there. A 1-1 with a plant set for MidiGuy. It's really not what you want to see, but he's making pretty good work of it. Gets through it without a problem. One more level for MidiGuy, and it is 7-5, also known as Alcatraz. What have I rolled?
Oh, hi, Boss Bass. How the heck are you?
Was not expecting that. So far, MidiGuy getting through unscathed. He can afford to take one hit here and still be able to do the clip.
I am on pins and needles, just knowing that Boss Bass is there, just circling like Jaws or something.
Oh, and Stewie gets gulped by the boss bass. You hate to see it.
Oh, you can just see the frustration on Stewie Cartman's face.
Looks like MidiGuy is in the clear, though. I believe his boss bass is on the top level, just trying to get that clip. So far, not able to do it. Meanwhile, Stewie equips a tail, but loses it to the Paragoomba. MidiGuy saying, okay, forget this. We're gonna do this the intended way.
Or are we? Oh, he's just setting up so the boss bass spawns up top.
Stewie takes another hit. Now Small Mario. That was a really long 7-5 for MidiGuy. That clip just would not go for him. Meanwhile, Stewie went up the pipe to check the power-ups, saw the boss bass, immediately went down the pipe. Because if he hasn't, it would have been an immediate gulp for him. So a huge play there by Stewie to avoid getting a second gulp from that boss bass. We have Midi in the coin ship. Oh, Stewie takes another death. And Midi gets a P-Wing. Stewie opting out of 7-5 for now. Grabs the 1-up. I don't blame him. Gonna get the P-Wing here that Midi also got as long as he can avoid these boomerangs, which he does. Gets the P-Wing. I gotta imagine he's gonna be using that in Alcatraz. MidiGuy going for the fire kill. Not sure where he got it or got the bounce kill, but either way, he gets the wand and is out of this really brutal starting World 2. Nice last-minute tail flick by Stewie to avoid dropping down into the path of that boss bass. And as I suspected, has equipped the P-Wing as ET phones home on MidiGuy's side, and he gets a frog suit and into World 5 for MidiGuy. And MidiGuy getting through that level unscathed. Had a few fire guys to worry about, and a little bit of lag, but it really wasn't anything too bad for him. But we have 2 levels and then a forced twisty here in this 5. And I believe this is 5-7 for MidiGuy. Making his way through it pretty nicely, though. And Stewie looks like he found another P-Wing. Fighting some bros, just trying to build up that inventory. And Stewie on into the airship as Midi enters that forced twisty fort. Stewie gonna take flyover strats. Not a bad play. He already has the tail. He might as well. And it was 2 hits for Morton, so slightly on the stale side. Not quite as much salt as we would see in a vanilla Morton. But Stewie now 2 levels and basically a full twisty behind. He's really going to have to work to get back into this. And this twisty is going to lead to the sky. We do see one other pipe, so Midi can go back up and get the other bros if he chooses to. And finds 5-4, getting through it though with some really nice P-speed strats. Takes a little hit there, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, just happened to get a little bit ahead of those fireballs.
Midi decides to go for this first bro, and he gets hit by that first sledge bro as he jumps up, gets a star for his efforts. Looking for a power-up, not gonna find it though. Going to elect not for now to go back down to the ground, but finds basic fort. Gonna go for the item here. And it is going to be a cloud.
Oh, what a find.
And Midi finds the World 7 airship, elects not to go back down to the ground to fight the 2 bros, and now that I look at Stewie's screen, I see why. He would have had to play at least 1 level to get access to them, so it is the faster strat to just skip them and go for the airship. And Stewie making his way through Force Twisty. Nice jumps over those womps.
The tower proving not exactly troublesome thus far for Stewie Cartman.
So slightly more favorable World 5 for these players as than World 2 was.
Gonna need a bigger boat. Isn't that always the case, though?
I mean, yeah.
I will leave the editorializing alone right there, as I'd like to continue commentating on these speed gaming networks.
So MidiGuy finds a cloud from the Peach letter, immediately starts checking pipes. Finds that first pipe led down below. Gonna check the second pipe. We'll see where this goes. Room with a view. And Stewie also electing to not go back downstairs. And he's gonna get a leaf, and he's gonna be able to get this item as well and finish this fort just a little bit faster.
And that Jugum Cloud certainly doesn't hurt either. To answer the question in chat, yes, the randomizer does remove whistles for this. This is a warpless run, so all 8 worlds do need to be defeated.
Stewie making his way through the airship. He gets the fire kill on Roy. Meanwhile, Midi finding 7-2 and finding a tail, so he's going to be able to flutter over this pipe section and do this the fast way.
And not even have to worry about that boss bass down. No, almost making a liar out of me there. I was awaiting the commentator's curse on that one.
Yeah, so just a 1-4 World 7 for these players. Just this plant stage separating Midi from the airship. The item he is going to get from this, a star. Meanwhile, Stewie checking pipes, trying to find that fort. He does find the answer to get to the proper island. Trying to see if maybe he can find the pipe that gets around and not have to play the fort.
Well, since hammers don't break locks, that doesn't look to be the case. Und Ludwig ist fertig.
Auf Wiedersehen, Ludwig.
Ah, du sprichst Deutsch. Sehr
Ein
gut.
bisschen. Only a little bit.
Same. I'm only, I think, on Unit 2 in Duolingo. Hey, we have 5F2 here.
Midi finding row 4, and it's a 3-forter. Oh, and he goes for the first fort, and it's 7F2.
Oh, no. What? Every time I see that, that's always going to confuse me. Going down the up pipe in 5F2.
Yeah, Stewie likes to do that. Midi guy getting through 7F2 without a scratch. Hopefully that was the answer. And it was not. Oh my gosh, both of these forts are going to be required. The fort on the top is going to build the bridge to the fort. And then the fort there is going to build... Probably. It may not, but that's probably what's going to happen. I can't imagine the fort there being the bridge that would build to itself.
I mean, in what is it? Link to the Past. I mean, I've seen treasure chests for keys that lock themselves in. So I mean, it's not impossible. I just don't know if it's programmed into SMB3 that way. Oh, they are both okay. It is. There is no fortress locking itself out. Got it.
That would be interesting, though. Midi guy getting the 1 cycle. Now the question is, will this other fort be 7F1? We very often see 7F1 and 7F2 paired together in these seeds, for no particular reason that I'm aware of. Midi guy taking the gamble, and it is actually Alaska, but the tail's still useful for him.
Like the great Johnny Horton song in 1959, when it's springtime in Alaska, it's 40 below. DJing thing coming back out again.
MidiGuy gonna skip out on the coin ship. Finds the World 5 airship.
You have to figure there are going to be some shortcuts, as many as possible taken here, because this is both of their tournament lives are on the line here, so I don't think there's going to be really a lot of mucking about by either runner, as any type of time sink could be extremely costly, especially not knowing where the other is in the race, and knowing the talent of both of these individuals. In their mind, they're probably thinking they might be already on like World 5 or 6 by now.
Yeah, and a question for our runners in chat. You play that, you go to that fort before going through the pipe. You see C7F2. Do you play it, or do you nope out and go to the other forts and hope it's not required? Being a 3-forter, it's hard to say, because if it is required, then you have to go back, and it's tough. It's tough to say, but MidiGuy finds World 1 here in our 5th world, and it is Troll Forts. 4-1.
4F1 giving a little trouble to MidiGuy with the sideways thwomp. Does get another power up and loses it almost instantly.
Just a 2-hit boom boom though for Midi. Meanwhile, Stewie almost through 6F2. Oh, it takes a hit to boom boom. And that fort was not the answer for MidiGuy, but you might as well play it because it's required anyway for progression.
Oh, and MidiGuy taking a bit of a sun problem there. He's going to see what the other stage is.
And Stewie also electing to skip out on that final bro. Enters the World 5 airship. And MidiGuy with the fanfare. Wouldn't be surprised to see 4F2 here. Oh, and instead we see 3F1. And I think that was a P-Wing he had again, but unfortunately took the hit this time and is forced to do this the door 6 path. So Stewie a couple of levels, and well, 1 level and 2 forts behind MidiGuy at this point. MidiGuy gonna cloud the stage and go for the bro. And here we find Larry in his vanilla location. Stewie going for that clip, not able to get it. And a 2-hit Larry for MidiGuy. MidiGuy with a commanding lead here going into World 6. Stewie getting the bad news that did not break the lock. Stewie gonna go ahead and play the level that Midi noped out of. Takes a little hit there, oh, and goes into the pit. And World 6 is World 6 for MidiGuy. And MidiGuy finds the Navy fort. Get your salutes in chat for Bowser's military. Stewie making his way through 7-9. Midi now has the information that the path to Lemmy is open with that 2-forter. Sees the lock on the left side. Just gotta play a few levels. And finds 8-2. Stewie hoping for a fire flower there. Just finds another leaf. And MidiGuy gets through 8-2 unscathed.
They just won't seem to leave Stewie alone. I was trying to find a place to jump back in there. Trying to deal with occupational obligations as well as the commentary here. Easier said than done.
Midi finding the pyramid stage, making his way through. Oh, misses the duck slide, but gets it on the second try. Stewie now in the World 1 airship. MidiGuy with beautiful P speed in this level. Dick takes the tiny turn back to avoid the fanfare. Because he needs more lives. He's already got 12.
Well, for somebody at that skill level, yeah, that's a lot of lives. For somebody like me who's not nearly as good at this game, I probably would take the fanfare, but that's also why I don't race this game.
That living up to your namesake, that is fair. Alright, that final level should open up Lemmy for MidiGuy. And it does. And we have the World 4 airship. Gonna see that P-speed strat. It gets through beautifully and is rewarded from the power-up box with a star. Not quite useful, but at least it gives him a little bit of invincibility frames. And 2-hit Lemmy. And we move on into World 7 for MidiGuy. Stewie trying to decide if he wants to fight these bros or not. Not gonna do it.
Stewie doing a good job getting through 8-2 here, despite the cheap bass.
And Midi finds a hammer. I don't know if he has a second one. I don't think so. Just almost kisses that fire snake, but able to turn back at the last second. Meanwhile, Stewie makes his way through the pyramid stage. Oh, Midi gonna cloud the level and go for the pipe. And finds Windy, but it's blocked off by a lock.
Well, you have 2 forts right there. You may as well at least try one of them, and holy vanilla. Or at least le vanilla, French vanilla.
Yeah, 3-2 in the 3-1 in the 3-1 location.
Game's got jokes. Well, we did have a valid seed for the very first one, and then mine was the invalidiest it could get, as the very first stage was 3F2. So the seed was invalid 12 seconds in.
Gotta imagine MidiGuy's gonna go back and check the pipes, see if that was the answer. And it was not.
Why would it be? Come on. After a while, you just know that randomizers are not going to give you the easy path. That there's always going to be some semblance of challenge to it, whether you like it or not.
The great thing about it is, though, he just got the hammer from World 6. Had hammers broken locks, this would have been a really fast World 7.
Oh yes, as an explanation for the that's merely a meme in terms of valid versus invalid. It's a perfectly playable seed. It's just for the memes. Apparently, a lot of the time, World 3F2 tends to be in World 8.
Midi plays one bro, passes up on the other one, and goes off to Wendy's. And I believe this is the World 3 airship, too.
Wendy's quaky, but only taking 2 hits here, and approaching the 29-minute mark. MidiGuy will be the first into World 8.
So for the final time this broadcast, chat, we ask, how many bridges?
I'm going to go with 1. Doing occupational obligations, heading down to the work computer. Be right back.
All right, Farron says 1 bridge. I'm going to go with 3 this time. We have a 2 in the chat. We get an anchor from the Peach letter. And so far, 3 pipes and a stage on the starting screen. No locks. The 4-bridge dream is still alive. No, it's not. We have 1 lock. So the most it can be is 3. Sorry, Jade. Midi gonna go ahead and check all these pipes before moving on, and he finds the dark room. Stewie gonna go back and check the pipe and get the bad news that it's not the answer, and he has to play the other fort. There's another lock for MidiGuy. We're down to 2 bridges. And we have an acceptable seed.
Wasn't the second one acceptable as well?
Yeah.
So there we go. We've had a valid and 2 acceptable seeds. Not bad for a stream's work.
Alright, so now Stewie, gonna go and fight Wendy. Gonna get that number 2 small combo biggie sized. As MidiGuy continues to explore this World 8. We see 1 lock in the dark warp room has been broken, and we have Bowser with 1 bridge. Will this fort do it? We will find out if Super Tanks is the answer.
The game wouldn't be that generous or benevolent, would it? No, it wouldn't. Tried to go for a little Tanuki statue strat, I guess. Or maybe just missed the input. I'm not sure which.
MidiGuy had some really nice tail flick strats to get the P-speed on that level low, and it did
Oh my
build the
gosh,
bridge!
it is! Or you gotta be bleeping me.
Midi checks the anchor, and it was a music box. But he has the flowers, so he can still do 35 power flowers, and he gets the elevator clip. MidiGuy with a pretty demanding lead, but Stewie found the answer and is in super tanks. Oh, but Midi gets the clip. 35 fireballs to Bowser's face, and that will do it for MidiGuy.
As a Philadelphia sports fan, you can't say that it's over until it's over, and wait a minute.
Midi's got to do this the long way now. A death could be disastrous for Stewie, or for Midi. As Stewie making his way through Bowser's castle. One final jump will do it. Midi's got to hope for no troll fireballs, and he has done it. MidiGuy moves on in the bonus bracket. Stewie Cartman will be eliminated. Get your GGs out for both of these players.
I mean, this is going to be close. I mean, maybe 35 to 40 seconds difference if I had to guess.
Yeah, MidiGuy with that 33-22, and Stewie gets the fire kill on Bowser, and he will finish with an official race time of 33 minutes and 56 seconds. A 34-second difference. Wow.
I was close. I was a little over, though. That would not work on The Price is Right. But still, GG is a fantastic race. Just a lot of madness here. Okay, hopefully that should be sending out the appropriate invites and whatnot to bring the runners in. Unfortunately, this is where I'm going to have to step out because if I'm gone much longer, work might notice, and I don't want to get fired over this. So, well, Stewie Cartman joining in chat, saying 2 words, 7-5. And we have MidiGuy right in here with us. Congratulations and GG.
Many thanks. Yeah, the most memorable seed for me was definitely the last one, that's for sure. Though 2 had some moments as well, that's for sure. Different kinds of moments, but yeah. Yeah, in the 3rd race, that was a first for me, that clip. That was most definitely a first.
Yeah, you played out of your mind in that 3rd seed. Absolutely beautiful play. I don't recall you taking many, if any, deaths. Is that correct?
I can't remember. I did go pretty well on the 3rd one as well as the 1st. The 2nd one I had more hiccups for sure there, but yeah, no, the 3rd went well. Yeah, the 3rd most definitely went well. Played a little extra levels in World 8, but was definitely surprised to see the fort build the bridge there on that last screen, that's for sure.
Yeah, we were both really surprised about that. And you mentioned that you played a couple of extra levels. So Stewie skipped out on those levels. He found the correct fort right behind you. Only a 34-second difference. And you took those 2 hits to Bowser right at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, that was like, uh-oh. It's like, oh, this might change things. I was really wondering if this is what was going to decide the race or not. And it looks like I still had a good enough lead to make it regardless, but dang. Definitely close ones there, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Stewie going to skip out on the interview for today. He's got to get some food before commentating our next match here in about 27 minutes. MidiGuy, do you have anything else you want to say before we wrap things up here?
Thanks to everyone that puts this on. As always, it's a blast to play, and I'm looking forward to the next match. It's either going to be it's between, I think, Angelic Jade, Marky Mark, or Danny P Speed. Whoever loses the match between Danny P Speed and the winner of Angelic Jade and Marky Mark, I believe. So I'm looking forward to that, though that won't be for a little while, I'm guessing, since there's still matches to do, though the first match is going to be tonight, as far as I can tell there. I believe 8:30 is the one between Marky Mark and Angelic Jade, so that should be something to watch. And I'm also looking forward to the one at 5, though I'm probably going to miss most of it, since I'm going to go and take part in another local tourney. So, lots going on. But looking forward to the next ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is correct. Marky Mark versus Angelic Jade tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's going to be on Speedgaming 6. And next up, we have True Hyper Mario versus Teeks88 right here on Speedgaming 3. You guys definitely don't want to miss that. MidiGuy, good luck in your local tournament. I hope that goes well for you.
Oh, many thanks.
All right, but for now, that is going to do it. On behalf of myself, John Dat Flindo, Farron Burgundy, Speedgaming 3, MidiGuy, and Stewie Cartman, thank you so much to everybody for watching. Again, stay tuned. In about 25 minutes, we're going to be right here on this channel with True Hyper Mario versus Teeks88. But until then, we will see you next time.
Take care, everybody.